But let's talk about who you need to check for first. Chris Olave. Unbelievable 2-week stretch that this guy's having. He is leading the league in air yards in back-to-back weeks. Over 603 air yards over these past 2 weeks. Over 300 air yards a week. That's just ridiculous. I know we don't get points for air yards, but consider he has 13 targets in back-to-back weeks, 80-plus yards in back-to-back weeks, went for a massive over 147 yards, 9 catches. So really realize what those air yards into some final great production. 23.7 PPR fantasy points, participated in 93% of the routes, 33% target share in back-to-back weeks, 40% air yards in back-to-back weeks. I mean, he is the Saints receiver you want right now. And that's crazy on a team with Jarvis Landry and especially with Michael Thomas. But he's out there, Chris Olave, in 66% of leagues. So whether this is a waiver wire pickup, you check. If he's out there, I give up every last dime and I rip my shirt off and whatever else you need to go get this guy. But maybe you have him on your roster and you're wondering, what do I do moving forward? I lock him in as an every week wide receiver too from here on out. He's looked great and smooth after the catch. Unbelievable at getting open and creating space. And Jameis loves to sling it to him. He has by far the most valuable receiver role on the Saints right now. Chris Olave is an absolute monster. It's only going to get better too. The touchdowns are the one thing missing right now. It's great. The guy, lock him in, set, forget. He's one of those guys. No more sit-start questions about him. Get him in those lineups and feel very confident. Another one that you will be doing that with over the next couple of weeks, set and forget, is Jamaal Williams, 62% rostered. He's been on this first checklist twice already this year and still remains out there in nearly 40% of leagues. DeAndre Swift is about to miss 2, maybe more weeks. They have the bye week coming up after 2 weeks absence, and Dan Campbell hinting that Jamaal Williams could end up becoming the featured back with DeAndre Swift potentially sitting those 2 weeks out. Even if that doesn't happen, just look at where this backfield's been trending. Last week, Jamaal Williams had 61% of the attempts compared to only 21% for DeAndre Swift, according to PFF's data. Their snap share, Jamaal Williams, 45% compared to 41% for DeAndre Swift. He ran 24% routes compared to, that's DeAndre Swift's role, 53% of the routes, but still also getting worked in to those receiving work downs as well. He's actually logged, in terms of short yardage and reception work, 56% of that, those money touches, if that's what you want to call them, over these last few weeks. The only back to touch the ball at the goal line since the season has started. It's the Jamaal Williams show right now in short yardage situations. Our guy Ian Hartitz, who came on this summer, likened him to this year's James Conner, and it has come into fruition 100%, given this touchdown equity he is now showing, because this Lions team is top 5 in scoring right now, and I don't see them slowing down. They're going forward aggressively on fourth downs. They're pushing the pace throughout the games. So tons of touchdown equity for Jamaal Williams, and that, again, is if Swift is playing. Now, if Swift is out these next couple of weeks, we've seen Williams shoulder 20-plus touch workloads when he was over with Green Bay and perform as a top 12 running back nearly every single time. I think this role is even more valuable in this Lions offense that is centered around getting these backs involved in the passing game too. So you bump up that receiving work. I think that James Conner comparison, think about what he did when Chase Edmonds missed time last year, right around 24 fantasy points per game. I would not be shocked at all to see Jamaal Williams pushing 20 points a game should he become the feature back these next couple of weeks. And even without it, some huge standalone value. So another guy similar to Olave before him, I would empty the entire bank to go pick up Jamaal Williams if he's somehow out there in my league. Go make sure you check for him. Another one is Alexander Mattison, 56% rostered. You guys know the deal here. If Dalvin Cook misses time, it sounds like he's not going to miss the game. Sounds like he's likely to play. But if he does, lock it into a top 5 running back with Alexander Mattison. He was the only back to touch the ball once Dalvin Cook left on Sunday. So even under the new regime, it is clear cut. He's the handcuff that you want in Minnesota, the only back that's probably going to touch the ball if Dalvin Cook misses that game. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.